I'm Shivani Singh. For 17 years, he was the man in London. For the Awami League, he was a fugitive. And for New Delhi, he was a source of constant security anxiety. But as Bangladesh gears up for the February 2026 elections, the script has been flipped. Tarique Rahman, the acting chairman of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party or the BNP, has returned to Dhaka. And he hasn't just returned to a country, he has returned to a vacuum left by the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. With the Awami League barred from the polls, the BNP is the frontrunner. The question that is keeping South Block up at night is simple. If the BNP wins, will Tarique Rahman be a friend or a foe? Will he be the man who harbored insurgents in 2004 or a pragmatic leader ready for a reset? We look at the baggage, the personal ideology of the man from Hava Bhavan and the Na Dilli Na Pindi doctrine. To understand India's apprehension, you have to look at the history. Between 2001 and 2006, when the BNP Jamaat coalition ruled India-Bangladesh ties hit rock bottom. New Delhi's core concern wasn't just trade, it was security. During this period, Bangladesh was accused of becoming a safe haven for anti-India insurgent groups like the Alpha. The infamous 10-truck arms haul in April 2004. Let's look at that. A massive shipment of weapons, including thousands of submachine guns and grenades, was seized in Chittagong. These were allegedly destined for rebels in India's northeast. Indian intelligence agencies firmly believed that the then BNP government and specifically Tarique Rahman's inner circle knew exactly what was in those trucks. Add to this the rise of radicalism and the 2004 grenade attack on an Awami League rally. For India, a BNP government meant an unpredictable, often hostile neighbor that flirted with Pakistan's ISI. That memory hasn't faded. Now let's talk about the man himself, Tarique Rahman. For years, his personal ideology was seen as deeply nationalist and reflexively anti-India. He was the architect of the Hava Bhavan, a power center which critics say prioritized ideological purity and regional equilibrium over bilateral cooperation. But in 17 years in London, can it change a man? Or can it change his politics? Well, Rahman has recently popularized a new slogan, Na Dilli, Na Pindi. What does it mean? Equidistance. He wants to show that Bangladesh is no longer a pet dog of New Delhi, a common criticism leveled against Hasina's regime. He is also framing his ideology around Bangladeshi nationalism, a harder, more SOV, more sovereignty-focused stance compared to the secular Bengali nationalism of the Awami League. Privately, his advisors also hint that Rahman is a pragmatist. He knows that he can't fix Bangladesh's broken economy with the Indian transit, trade and electricity. Even more surprising is the recent thaw. In January 2026, following the death of Khalida Zia, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar did something unprecedented. He flew to Dhaka, met Tarique Rahman and handed him a personal condolence letter from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This wasn't just courtesy, it was funeral diplomacy. And the BNP's response? They expressed sincere gratitude. For a party that has spent years leading an India out campaign on the streets, this pivot to cordial engagement is a massive tactical shift. So why the change? Well, there is a Jamaat factor. BNP has recently distanced itself from the Jamaat-e-Islami. This is a clear indication to New Delhi that they are trying to occupy the moderate centrist space. There's also the factor of economic survival. With inflation at record highs, a BNP government cannot afford a trade war with its largest neighbor. Let's take a look at the Jamaat factor again. The most worrying scenario for India is not a BNP victory alone, but a BNP government that is dependent on Islamist allies. Jamaat-e-Islami, despite its reduced electoral strength, retains strong organizational capacity and street power. Its ideological hostility towards India is well documented, shaped by historical grievances dating back to 1971. So if Jamaat plays a kingmaker role or gains leverage within a coalition, India could once again face a Bangladesh less cooperative on counter-terrorism and more receptive to hardline narratives. There is also the strategic picture. Any government in Dhaka, BNP or otherwise, will also operate in a far more complex global environment. China has expanded its footprint in Bangladesh through infrastructure, through investments, through defense cooperation and also loans. While Sheikh Hasina balanced ties with Beijing without alienating India, a BNP-led government may lean more heavily on China as a counterweight. At the same time, there's Western pressure on Bangladesh over democracy and human rights has grown, and BNP has cultivated support among Western capitals, portraying itself as a democratic alternative. This could also change Dhaka's diplomatic tone, but it may also embolden policies that sideline Indian sensitivities. So what happens if Tarique Rahman takes the oath? The relationship will likely become transactional. Don't expect the golden chapter of the Hasina years. Expect a government that demands more water sharing on the Teesta, a government that is more vocal about border killings, and a government that will constantly remind New Delhi of its sovereignty. India's stakes in Bangladesh go beyond politics. Bangladesh is a key partner in India's Act East policy, critical for access to the northeast and regional connectivity as well. Trade between the two countries has crossed $15 billion annually as per several reports, with energy cooperation, rail links and port access forming the backbone of the engagement. Now, whether Bangladesh sees a BNP victory led by Tarique Rahman or a scenario where Jamaat gains influence, India faces a very difficult landscape. However, India's security establishments remains wary. They worry that while Rahman talks pragmatism in London or to his diplomats, his India out base on the streets might actually force his hand. For India, the chicken's neck or the Siliguri corridor is too narrow to take risks. If a BNP government even hints at reviving the 2004 era security policies, the cordial ties will evaporate faster than the monsoon mist over the Padma. The return of Tarique Rahman marks the end of an era and the beginning of a high-stakes gamble. India is engaging because it has to. It is choosing to deal with a man from London rather than be left with no influence at all. Tarique Rahman is engaging because his path to power requires him to look like a statesman, not a rebel. But in the volatile world of South Asian politics, a handshake today is no guarantee of a friendship tomorrow. The not Delhi, not Pindi doctrine is about to be tested. Thanks for watching.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.